We have a photo op over in that corner. It's free, so please go over there and have your photo taken in front of that beautiful backdrop which Christy Parrish created for us. And that is being, the photographers are from the DAR, and we appreciate them coming out to help with that. The historic ledgers, which I'll tell you more about later on this evening, but there's a table back there where you might want to leave some memories for posterity. Those are also being manned by the DAR ladies. We have historic displays over here by the Sons of the American Revolution, the SAR. We appreciate that, so please go by and look at those displays and visit with those gentlemen. And we really appreciate all of them coming out in costume. They really have added to the event. Thank you, really. You made it very special for us. There's a small display over here about the museum, so any of you that aren't very familiar with the museum, you can go over there and there's brochures and tells you how to become a member and things like that, so spend some time over there learning about it. There's a cash bar. You'll be served tea and water. You probably already have been in that with your dinner, but there's a cash bar. It's back over in that corner. You step outside into the hallway, and on your little card in front of you, it tells you what drinks are available back there, so you can go and help yourself back there. Dinner's going to be served here just shortly. We're getting ready. After dinner, we'll have a few short games and some giveaways. So you want to hang on to your card in front of your plate. That is your card. But there'll be prizes coming along with that. And then throughout the evening, after the dinner, during the music, there will even be some giveaways. So once again, hang on to your card for those giveaways. So at this time, I'd like to invite one of our trustees, which is Ron Palmier, and he will be coming up to lead us in prayer, and then dinner will be served. So thank you all for coming, and there'll be more to talk about later on, and then before the music starts. So thank you for coming. Ron?
Let's try to be short. I'm already short, but I'm not going to talk very long. Heavenly Father, as we gather to celebrate 250 years of American independence and the 150th anniversary of the founding of Pittsburgh, we thank you for bringing us together this evening. We thank you for the blessing of community, the freedom we enjoy, and for the generations who have come before us, whose courage and sacrifice shaped our nation. Bless this food, the hands that prepared it, and the fellowship we share together, and always let us remember the responsibility we share to preserve the stories of our forebears for those who follow us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Days like today when it's 90 degrees on the first full day of spring. Yeah.
We appreciate all of these servers came from PHS, most from the Key Club, and they help us at many of our events, and they came out at the end of spring break and they offered to help us. So we appreciate those young people coming out and helping us, as well as the Pittsburgh area young professionals who help with the serving. They're working in the bar. And just wherever they're needed, they're willing to fill in. We appreciate the DAR and the SAR for coming out and helping us tonight, and our kitchen staff, which is amazing that it takes quite a bit to get this food served and plated and ready for you to enjoy, so we thank them for coming out. And Blue Spoon Catering, who is our corporate sponsor this year and worked with us to make this an affordable meal that we could serve to you, and we hope you all enjoyed it. we were eating it in the kitchen on the run, and it was delicious what we were having, so we hope that you were enjoying it as well. So the girls have already left, but we will express your appreciation to them. So stop in sometime and visit with them if you haven't been to their facility. And I can personally recommend the German chocolate cake. You don't want to miss that. Sometimes I'll just swing in there as I'm driving down Broadway to get a piece of German chocolate cake. So anyway, I want to thank everybody that was associated in any way with helping provide that wonderful meal for all of you. So, and as you all know, it also takes an army to do all of the things that we do to manage our foundation. We own 3 properties. So Miners Hall Museum Foundation, and we own 3 properties, which is the museum in Franklin, the Franklin Community Park, and the newly created Dragline Park in Franklin. So it does take all of us to work very hard to make everything happen, whether it's events or activities or preserving all of the artifacts that are donated to us. So I want to thank our amazing board of trustees, and we all say we are a working board, which we definitely are. Everyone has a job to do, and I know it's going to take a couple minutes, but I'd like to point them all out and introduce each one of them. We are all here tonight, and we're so proud of our board, and we all love working with each other. So I'm Phyllis Bittner. I'm the chairman of the board this year. I serve on the Dragline Committee, and I also do the media marketing for the museum. Christy Parrish, who is in the kitchen, there she's waving. She is the vice chair, and she oversees all the special events and our gift shop. Catherine Richard where's Catherine? There she is. Catherine is our secretary and our development coordinator, which means she writes all of our grants, and she's also the chair of our education outreach committee. Linda Cano, Linda's been moving around. Linda is the one board member who has been involved with the museum and on the board since its inception, and she is the chair of the Amazon Army, the Arts and Special Programs Committee. Linda Roberts, she is our membership coordinator, and she chairs the exhibit committee. And Ron Palmier, he is our collections manager and our building and grounds committee. And Dr. Chris Childers, he is the co-chair of the Dragline Committee. Joshua McLeod, he's back there. Joshua is our newest board member, and he has the impressive title of computer guy. I tried to talk him into coming up with a better title, and he said he was happy with that, so that's what he is. And he also is serving on the education committee with Catherine. So you see our trademark red vest, which makes us easily recognizable. So any of you out here, that if we haven't met you, please come up and introduce yourself. We'd like to meet you all. We're always happy to talk about the museum. We'd like to find out your connection to the area, why you came to Pittsburgh or Crawford County, if you have a connection to mining. So please come up to one of us if we haven't met you yet. We have one more important member of our team, who is the person who keeps us on track and occasionally keeps us out of trouble. Kevin Mitchelson has been our volunteer attorney for over 20 years. He stepped in the actual day of the tornado in Franklin in 2003 and called me and said, "How can I help?" And he's been helping ever since. He helped form 2 nonprofits through time, the Franklin Community Council and the Miners Hall Museum nonprofits. He continues to provide us with counsel every day, and through their firm of Wheeler and Mitchelson, they have also generously supported many of our projects. We'd also like to thank Kevin's wife, Frances, who played a role in opening the museum. I met with her prior to creating the museum to discuss the possibility, and I appreciate Frances's advice and support. We hope that the good that both of you have done will be returned to you many times over. Thank you very much. Just a couple more thank yous. Memorial Auditorium Board, who sponsored this event. It's an amazing facility, and we appreciate them allowing us to have our event here. And we'd like to thank their entire staff, Darcy, Hallie, who is here tonight, and all of those who helped us set up, and those that are here tonight to just help with any needs that we have. The entire staff was remarkable, and we appreciate all of their help. Sarah Runyon, who was not able to be with us tonight, also worked with me in helping coordinate this to celebrate the Pittsburgh 150 celebration. And we also want to thank all of our sponsors and business members, and we have signage out in the hallway, inside here, and please check out those posters and banners and support those local businesses. If the local businesses support nonprofits such as us, we always encourage all of our members and friends, please support them back and take your business to them, or at least tell them thank you when you see them for all that they do. And I know we have some of our business members here or people who have sponsored events, and we appreciate everything that they do for us. And I wanted to thank Buddy Lorenz and Christy, who worked together on the decorations, these beautiful centerpieces Buddy created himself. They spent all day Friday decorating with the quilts and everything, and they've done an outstanding job. Thank you. It's just beautiful. Okay, I'm getting close. I hope you're still eating your dessert. Okay, a quick, brief update on Miners Hall Museum. We always have to brag about ourselves. Sorry, but we work hard for everything that we do, and we want to be sure that everyone knows what we do. So there's just no way to cover everything. We are, this past week, preparing for this event, we had 2 meetings. One was with a national grant, one was with a statewide grant, one was a Zoom meeting. So we are just overwhelmed with being busy, but we all love it. So if you are a member, you receive our quarterly newsletter, and you will learn everything, be able to stay up with us. But we invite you to follow us on social media. That's really one of the best ways to keep up with what we do. But our new, we continue to bring new stories to the museum, so we're not just a stagnant museum of the same exhibits. So we do quarterly exhibits, and this summer on July 1, we're going to open the Blueprints of American Grit, McNally, and 150 years of Pittsburgh progress. So we're going to be telling a big story about Pittsburgh as they celebrate their 150th. And then for the 4th quarter this year, in keeping with the US 250th, typically we do an exhibit on one of the countries where the miners immigrated from. But this year we're going to host the exhibit called From Many Lands, One Nation, to celebrate that they all came here to become Americans. So we think that's going to be a great exhibit. We're especially proud to have been named again the 4 States Finest Museum by KOAM, which was a Viewer's Choice Award. So we're happy to have been awarded that again. And this week we completed our National CAPS Assessment Program. We were just one of 71 institutions in the entire country to receive that award. We also welcomed a consultant from the History Makers of Future Is Now initiative, which was through Humanities Kansas. We were one of only 5 statewide selected to participate in that. When she came for her meeting, she left inspired by what is happening, and she said she would never forget her visit with us. She was very impressed with what we are doing here in Southeast Kansas. And many of you may not realize this, but our work extends beyond the museum. As I mentioned, we have 3 facilities. So the Franklin Community Park we own and maintain, and that is just for the public usage, free. It includes a beautiful walking path and a playground, and many families are able to enjoy that. And then just to the south, we are developing a dragline park, which I'm sure most of you have heard of, where we are bringing the magnificent Page 618 walking dragline, which will be the largest walking dragline preserved for public display in the entire United States. So it's going to be a big tourist attraction for Southeast Kansas. At that site, we are also creating a native wildflower meadow and a butterfly garden. So it's going to be a beautiful space where we're going to combine history, education, and nature. It's all going to be located in one spot. We know that's going to draw a lot of attention. So With the dragline move, it's now underway, and we know it's happening soon. Some of it is already moved there, and it has been led by Tilton and Sons House Moving, and we're honored to have them with us here tonight. Derek, would you like to say a few words?
You want me to come up there?
If you can.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad you all came out tonight. It's just a wonderful thing to be a part of this process to get the page here. I know it's been several years we've been in this project, but we're getting closer. It's a big undertaking. There's been a lot of things made to move it. We've recently got another boom piece down there. This week we'll get the bucket loaded and moved down there. I don't know what day yet. Just watch for media post on it. But the big event's coming soon. Just keep watching. We're finalizing some other pieces of equipment, manufacturing it to bring over, get a hold of the page. So just keep watching. It's coming, and it's going to look beautiful down there on the corner. I know there's been so much work on Phyllis's part and the board's part. And when was it we did the presentation there? A month or so ago. Where's JT at?
I'm over here.
Oh, there you are. You're hiding. When was that presentation, JT?
It's probably a month or so ago.
It's on YouTube, so it's basically went over how we're moving the drag line, the things we built to move it, things like that. But it's definitely an honor to be a part of the community and moving part of history, what your local history is here in southeast Kansas. So I can't say enough good things about Phyllis and the board and the Miners Hall Museum. It's just a wonderful experience, and looking forward to getting it there soon. And it will make me sleep a lot better at night when it's finally there, because let me tell you, this has been years. I've been years planning this. So it's everywhere I go, the drag line's on my mind. So sometimes I have thoughts late at night, and I'll email Phyllis, hey, what about this idea on something, or what about this? And so we collaborate a lot through emails at night, but it's constantly on my mind. So it's coming soon. Can't wait to have you all there for the dedication of it when we do that. And just hats off to everyone who put this wonderful event on tonight, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Derek. And I can vouch for his late nights, because last night he texted me about 9 o'clock and says, "Are you up? I'm in Franklin working. Can I stop by?" So I know he's working late hours. So just a couple of short notes, and we're getting close to music and a fun evening. We've got a lot of things planned for you. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about the ledgers. This is a project that we have been planning for the year, and it is going to be think time capsule in your mind. We have 3 ledgers back there where you can leave something about your family, something about yourself. One of them you can sign 2 lines, one's 4 lines, one's a full page. So you may not be able to sign it tonight, you might want to think about it. We're going to be bringing them out at other events throughout the year, at PIT 150 events and other local activities like that. So you might want to say, John Smith lived in Mulberry all his life, devoted husband and father. That's a short 2-liner. You might want to say, John Smith lived in Mulberry all his life, devoted husband and father, coal miner, worked at mine 18. That might fit 4 lines. Then you might want to do the whole page. John Smith immigrated from Italy, proud American, raised a family in Corona, worked in the mines, blah, blah, blah. So think about it, or you could just write your name and say, I'm a proud American. Right from the heart, and tell whatever story you want to be remembered. What do you want people to read about you or your family 25 or 50 years from now? So it's entirely up to you. So you're welcome to go back there and look. The DIR ladies are manning that table. They can show you what it looks like. You also will receive a beautiful memento to take with you, not tonight, the printer was delayed, but there's a sample back there to show you, and you'll be getting it either in the mail or by person when they come in. But at least take a look at those and think about it, because we hope you'll all want to be a part of history in the future. Let's see, I've invited you to follow us on social media. Okay, and as many of you know, this is our annual spring fundraiser, so there's a couple of donation jars around here, but I also want to point out that on the piano is a tip jar for the band. We know, we are so grateful that they came out to spend the evening with us. Sadly, we have heard that they are going to have to leave at 9 o'clock rather than 10 o'clock. And it was just a conflict of events and nothing that can be done about it. So we apologize for that. So at 9 o'clock, we might play a game. I don't know. So we're going to be thinking about that between now and 9 o'clock. But there is a tip jar on the piano. So if you enjoy their music, please drop something in there for them. So I have two short people that I'd like to introduce that are going to give a little short announcement, and then we're ready for fun and games. So I'd like to introduce Jay Byers, who's the Assistant City Manager for the City of Pittsburgh. Jay, where are you? There you are. And he's going to come up and say a few words about the city and the PIT 150 celebration. Jay?
Well, it is Jay Byers, City of Pittsburgh. I do think that the USA of Pittsburgh has had a shared legacy, a shared destiny. Both of them emerged from a desire for self-determination and a better future. Immigrants that boldly chased a dream. The immigrants created a mosaic of cultures, bringing their skills, languages, and their traditions. I did learn that there were over 50 languages spoken in the Pittsburgh area at one time. That blew me away. But when they did arrive, they didn't arrive with a whole lot. They didn't have very much. But they did shape a community with a unique and dynamic identity. Pittsburgh now has become a center for education, healthcare, advanced manufacturing and development, but retains its essence. It's hard work, entrepreneurism, and that stubborn self-reliance that I have to deal with every day. The USA and Pittsburgh both tell a story of how to renew core values and to make a place that can grow without losing its roots. And I look forward to seeing where we go from here. The city has been very excited about what the museum's doing and has many events planned for its 150th year. I'm going to throw out a brief announcement of some of them. March 28th, there's an Easter egg hunt. We're going to give away a ton of bikes at that Easter egg hunt, so that's kind of exciting. April 18th is the Spring Art Walk. That's the 20th year. This year they're doing a community mural. It's going to be a paint by numbers thing. There's going to be an artist there to help you with it. So think about participating in that. You can actually be participating in making the mural this year. March 2nd is the Cowboy Days at the Crawford County Historical Museum. Get Busy Living 5K. It starts at Hutch Field. On the 9th, there's Hometown at the Memorial Auditorium here. May 20th is actually Founders Day. That's the official day when the city was established. There's going to be a photo taken from height, from a drone at the Gorilla soccer pitch at 4 o'clock. So I think we're going to be putting out a call for people to be there. We're going to do a big 150, from the June 11th, there's photo scanning at the Axe Library, which we're looking for old photos and scan them in. We're going to do a lot of collages. June 20th is 620 Day. We have a long session planned for that. It's a whole family thing, obviously. It's not all free, like food and stuff, but there's vendors there as well. But it's a lot of things for kids to do. They're on 620 Day. It's been very popular. It's kind of grown every year. We've done 620 Day. And July 4th, we're going to do a parade. We haven't done an Independence Day parade before. We're going to shake it up this year. We're going to go from south to north this time. Try to calm down. Just probably throw a real curveball at you right now. And of course, we have fireworks at Baker Park tonight, of course. By the way, if you want to volunteer, if you want to learn more about what's going on for the 150th, hit the website at pittsburgh150.com. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of ways to participate, a lot of fun things that we're doing this year, and that's where you can get the most up-to-date information and where you can really actually become a part of what we're doing this year. So hope to see you involved. Thanks.
Thank you, Jay. Okay, and our next person that's going to come up here and speak about this is our board member, Dr. Chris Childers. He's the Dean for the College of Arts and Sciences at PSU, and he's going to share a few words about the US 250 celebration.
Thank you, Phyllis, and good evening, everyone. What a wonderful crowd it is here tonight. It's great to see so many people gathered together to celebrate our region's history, our sense of community, and a little bit of the spirit of 1776. Tonight's event, A Night in Philadelphia, takes us back to the place where one of the most important moments in American history began. In the summer of 1776, in a meeting room in Philadelphia, a group of determined, sometimes very nervous men debated an idea that would change the world. They decided to declare independence from the most powerful empire on earth. That was a bold move. But what they created was even more powerful, more bold than they might have imagined. With the signing of the Declaration of Independence, they launched a new nation built on remarkable ideals, liberty, opportunity, and the belief that the people themselves should shape their own future. This year, we celebrate 250 years of that American experiment. Over those 2.5 centuries, generations of Americans have taken those words and turned them into action. They built railroads, they built farms, schools and businesses, communities and industries. They served their country, raised families, and worked hard to create a better life for the next generation. That story started in Pittsburgh, or Philadelphia. I got ahead of myself there. The story started in Philadelphia, Boston, Washington, but later on it unfolded in places like Southeast Kansas, like Pittsburgh, like Franklin. The immigrants who came to this region to work in the coal mines brought with them determination, courage, and hope for a better future. They built towns like Franklin and Pittsburgh, and they helped shape the community that we know today. Their hard work and sacrifice and perseverance are part of the American story, proof that the promise of this country has always depended on the people willing to work, build, and believe in it. And tonight we're fortunate to celebrate 2 milestones that connect our national story with our local one. The 250th anniversary of the United States of America and the 150th anniversary of Pittsburgh, Kansas. Both remind us that history is not something distant or abstract, but it lives in the places we gather, the communities we build, the stories we tell, and the traditions that we pass along. And tonight we get to celebrate it in the best way possible. Good food, great music, good friends, and perhaps a little bit of the lively spirit that filled Philadelphia taverns back in 1776. And I see lots of red and blue punch around this room as I'm talking. So, before we continue the evening, I'd like to ask you to raise a glass. And yes, I realize I'm raising tea. Let's play like it's not British. But you all raise your glasses to the brave voices that declared a new nation in 1776, to 250 years of freedom and opportunity, and to 150 years of community and progress in Pittsburgh. To America 250, Pittsburgh 150, and the enduring spirit of those who keep the stories alive. Cheers! Cheers! Enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Sing with me, please. You're a grand old flag, and a high flying flag, and forever peace may reign.
Yeah,
The emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true to the red, white, and blue, where there's never a post or rag. All acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Give yourself a hand. I'm going to turn over to the band and I'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, young men and maidens, do not depart. We have prizes coming for you. Number one, at your table, look on your card or steal someone else's card. On the back, down in the bottom right-hand corner, if you have a 1776, raise your hand. A 1776 in the bottom right-hand corner. We have it over here. Okay, here it is. We have a winner. We have a gift bag for you and everyone there.
right? Your entire table wins the USA Cup. Hey, give him a hand. And if you have an 1876 and they're like, over here. Oh no, the front neck people. Their winners over here, they have, everyone gets a prize at their table. Where's our prize givers? Right over here, the front neck people. We put them close to the door. I think we talked about the immigrants coming here, and what kind of music did the immigrants bring? This over here, this table right here. 1876 right here. What kind of music? Somebody give me what kind of music the immigrants bring. Polka! Here we go. We'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel. We got the blues on the run. Sing boom Guerrero. Sing out the song of the cheers. Now's the time to roll the barrel. Cause the gang's all here. Hey! You know, yeah, where's Joe Napoli now when we need it? If you sing in tune, you know, that's called harmony. If you sing out of tune, it's jazz. These guys will tell you that, right? Right, Stefanoni? Yes. We got an front-man kid over here in the band. Hey, the band are the Little Swing Men tonight, but I think known as the Little Green Men. And they do a variety of different kinds of songs. Tonight they're doing, oh, you guys can read music, don't you? That's why you're doing the charts tonight. Okay, tell me, what is a diminished fifth? No, wrong. A diminished fifth is when someone's consumed half the bottle of Jack Daniels. Oh, hey, there we go. Come on, Stephanie, give it. There we go. What do you call it when you drop, here's your piano player. You drop a, what chord do you get when you drop a piano down a mine shaft?
A minor.
A flat minor. Can you play us an A flat minor? There it is, that's what you get. How about if you drop that piano on an army base? That's it, A flat major. We're going to have more drawings, so don't leave. And we'll mess with the band a little bit more too, probably. Well, let's go. If you have a 150 on the corner of your card, all right, look for a number 150. On the bottom right-hand corner. On the back of your card. There we go. We have a winner right over here. That's Pittsburgh 150, that's 150 years. That's what that stands for, if you might wonder. Let's let the band play another couple numbers.
guy who hangs out with musicians. Drummer. That's the front neck, Stefano, yeah. We go back. Sometimes we play the great Karnak. Remember Johnny Carson? Karnak and this one comes from last week was St. Patrick's Day. So you might help you figure this out. It's ricochet. Repeat it now. Ricochet. Come on. Ricochet. What do you call an Irishman who's bulletproof? Ricochet. Ricochet. How about this one? Knickerbockers. Repeat. What does a woman want to avoid doing when she shaves her bockers? Okay. Have we done the 250 card? We've gotten mixed up. We got the 250 on the back of your card. Does somebody have one? You've got it. You didn't get a prize yet. No, we got. Here's our winner right here. You got a 250 too? It's in the corner. Right there and right there. I guess we get prizes for everything. Wait a minute. We didn't rehearse this, you understand? What does Linda, what do the 250 all get something?
Yes.
They get a handout. You get a nice cookie. I don't know what they're getting. And now we're going to go on to, if you have a 56 in the corner, and 56 stands for anybody know what the 56 stands for? No! The number of signers of the Declaration of Independence. Okay?
I thought that's how many states we'd have in a couple of years.
And of the signers, here's a question. I'll do a question, multiple choice. Which of these men, Jefferson, Hancock, Hamilton, or Franklin, preferred to swim in the nude?
Franklin!
Franklin is correct. Give her a hand right here. And what name was originally used in, we sang You're a Grand Old Flag? What was the original You're a Grand Old Rag? Rag. It was in Cohen's musical, it was Rag, and people go, It's a grand, they called the flag, I guess, back then a rag. You're raising your rag, the flag. Okay, let's give it back to the band. All right, you ready? did you hear about the bass player who locked the keys in his car? It took him 45 minutes to get the lead guitarist out. You guys can use these on your gigs when you have it. You're gonna play something of your own? Would you?
Yeah.
Why is it hard to tell when there's a vocalist at the door? They can't find the key and they don't know when to come in. Aiden was my neighbor growing up. I mean, Evan, not his brother Aiden was too. Evan was my neighbor growing up, and one day he said to his mother, he said, "I want to grow up to be a musician." She said, "Sorry, son, you can't do both." We have another giveaway. Have we done the gold star? Yeah, we did the gold star. You're down to the eagle, but hey, who knows what Benjamin Franklin said we should have as the American bird other than turkey, right here. Give that lady a big hand. But if you have an eagle on your card, raise your hand. Eagle in the bottom right-hand corner. Eagle right here. Feel free, you guys. You don't have a banjo player either. I can't make banjo jokes, but I'll make one anyhow. How do you tune a banjo? Easiest way is cut the string. And how do you keep your guitar from being stolen, Evan? Put it in a banjo case. Feel free to play more of your own tunes, fellows and lady.
Good job, guys.
Let's give them a hand. We're going to do one more before we end tonight. Give another hand to all our volunteers, all our board members, all our attendees, all our food servers, and Easy Dave, who's there at the camera. And one last musician. What's the range of a trumpet?
Well, technically, it's the practical range. Yeah, the practical range is 6.
It's about 20 yards if you got a good arm. Thank you for putting up with our jokes, my jokes, and I hope you guys have a successful gig tonight and keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.